Today's foraging takes me out to the woods to my plum grove, where I have a lot of Prunus americana, or Native American wild plums. Wild plums grow quite prolifically where they do grow. They don't do well in clay soil, but they do well in somewhat rocky soil, along a lot of field edges, things like that. To identify a Prunus americana, besides seeing the ripe plums on there, which are very small if you can compare them to my finger. First of all, they grow about 10 to 12 feet tall. And that's the whole tree right there, right along the wood edge. And they are a bit thorny when they start maturing. As you can see, they have these spiny, pokey, these aren't twigs that break off, these are pokey spines on the tree trunk. The tree trunk itself is relatively dark in color and has horizontal striations on it, as you can see, much like a cherry tree. The stems and leaves grow alternately, alternate of each other as opposed to opposite of each other. And when the plums are ripe, they literally start to fall off the tree. A lot of times plums commercially harvested, they have tarps put underneath them and they shake the tree. However, when you're picking wild plums in the woods, generally that's not an option. So I suggest putting a basket underneath, and when you go to grab the plums, kind of pull back on them so that they fall into your palm, and any extra ones that come with fall into your palm, and fall into your basket. They are a beautiful purplish color when ripe, kind of a red purple. They do maintain some of the yellow on them when they are ripe. They are a bit squishy when ripe. And they will start to fall off the tree when ripening, much like nuts. So when you see them start to fall, you know to get out there and harvest them as soon as possible before the wildlife get all of your harvest. On the other hand, we don't want to be greedy. We want to make sure that we leave at least half, if not more, of the harvest from each tree for wildlife and for nature to be able to regenerate itself. So as you can see, I'm in La Crosse County, Wisconsin, and these are ripening. They are fall off the tree ripe at this point. So I'm going in there and carefully picking them, dropping quite a few to the ground for the rabbits and the deer and whatnot, but that's okay. So if you are in Wisconsin, in my area, and have a chance to get out in the woods and look for some, those beautiful purplish palms that you see that are about 1.5 inches long on the trees, those are wild American plums. They are edible. They make beautiful jams, jellies, preserves, syrups, wine. Whatever you can make with a regular plum, you can definitely make with a wild plum, and you can eat them raw. They are delicious. So happy foraging. I hope that you get out in the woods and enjoy some quality time with nature and find yourself some yummy edible treats.